everyone, and thank you for watching my video. Please excuse the darkness of it. It's pretty dark in my office, and there isn't much I can do about that. But anyways, for the sake of this assignment, I have decided to do my research on the effect of government restrictions on educators' ability to educate. As a procurement professional, I deal on a daily basis with principals and financial clerks, teachers, pretty much the school district staff that constantly run these vendors that haven't gone through the procurement process, which means I have to tell them no. So for me, this made me start thinking about the full effects of that and what kind of butterfly effect might be having that ultimately affects the teachers and their ability to educate students. So, for the rationale, the topic, of course, is the effect of federal procurement restrictions on teacher effectiveness. Educators are continuously spending more and more money out of their own pockets on supplies. Now, this is a well-known problem that is well documented, which is one of the few topics that I was able to find research on. So I definitely wanted to find out whether or not there was a correlation and relationship between federal procurement restrictions and educators having to spend their own money. In Texas, procurement requirements mean that supplies can only be purchased from vendors that have gone through a formal procurement process and have been awarded per the Texas Education Code 4431. It is my theory that being forced to purchase from certain vendors could lead to educators spending their own money to purchase products and services that they wouldn't be able to purchase otherwise because of these restrictions. Addressing that connection between the restrictions and the ability to acquire the resources they want to need could potentially increase employee morale and also reduce teacher anxiety. So that's the rationale behind why I decided to do the research that I've been doing. My research questions are: do federal guidelines and restrictions enforced by school district procurement departments prevent KDISD teachers and staff from gaining access to the resources they need to effectively teach students? Also, will employee morale at KDISD be improved if procurement requirements weren't so restrictive? I think that's pretty self-explanatory. This is just an example. I feel like if I were to choose this topic for my final project, I might go a little bit deeper, make it a little bit more specific, but for this podcast, I'm going to go with this. For the literature review, I tried to pick topics that I would be able to find information on. As I mentioned before, a lot of procurement-related topics aren't really covered, and I wasn't able to find a lot of research on it. So one of the major things that I wanted to dive into is what is procurement, because in order to understand the relationship between why teachers could potentially be spending their money due to procurement, you would have to understand what procurement is and what laws govern school district procurement, which is a little bit different from the private sector. Public procurement and dealing with federal funds is a little bit different than dealing with private funds. The methodology behind my research, I definitely will need numerical and statistical data, so I will need that quantitative research, but I will also want descriptive, subjective, primary data directly from the participants. So naturally, I will be using the mixed method research methodology. The term mixed method refers to an emergent methodology of research that advances the systematic integration or mixing of quantitative and qualitative data within a single investigation or sustained program of inquiry. For my experiments, I will be using as participants 20 KDISD teachers and 10 KDISD financial services staff. For data collection and analysis, I will be using interviews, qualitative surveys, quantitative surveys, and procurement data records. I explained little bit of the significance before, but I'm a little bit over my time. Hopefully Dr. Gillies doesn't get too mad at me, but I want to bring awareness to a problem that is affecting school districts all across the country. I've been in school district for a long time, and I see it every single day, and I see other districts struggling to try to mitigate certain issues that we are having in procurement. So I think opening the window into more research would be greatly beneficial for our area. Also, to be able to find solutions to some of these problems and possibly get the government to lighten up some of these restrictions because they are extended. And while I know the whys and the hows and the whos, a lot of staff don't understand it, and they don't know why. I'm telling them no, they don't know why they can't buy what they want to buy or go to training if they want to train. And a lot of times I feel like this causes anxiety, along with them having to spend money out of their own pocket for these trainings and products. So the hope of my research is to not only gain further knowledge into these issues, but to try to find solutions for them. So since I'm over time, let me hurry up and I'll finish this. But ultimately, that's why I'm doing my research, and I hope that it turns out the way I want it to. Thank you, and have a great day.